good one.
That's a good one.
All right. Show that bike again. We're still putting this 59 back together.
Yep, 59.
Yeah.
XLCH.
We moved on to the clutch drum for the moment. And all of this looked really nice.
It does. Cleaned up real nice.
Cleaned up real good. Grab a feeler gauge. Okay. So we're going to put a dry clutch in this bike. It came with a wet clutch originally, a stock Harley wet clutch.
Originally when we got it.
Yeah, yeah.
When it came to us.
When it came to you, right.
When it came to me, it had a wet clutch in it.
So, let's see where we're at here. The 4 goes in.
Okay.
Goes all the way around, right? Yeah, it's pretty flat too, it feels. The 5, I don't think is going to go. Nope, 5 goes in. All right, this is going to change stuff. Oh, couldn't get that in there before we washed it. Okay.
Oh boy, it might be kind of big then.
Well, we got to go through this anyhow because of the what we found.
Yeah.
Because this is going to change things now for what our plan is, I think. All right.
6 won't go?
6 won't go. Now, that's what I see often is that they're around 5 from the factory if they're not screwed up. Now, the reason that this is important is that to keep this clutch dry, the clutch can't wobble around tremendously because if it does, this seal wobbles on its mate. So basically you end up with this. Okay, that screws the seals up a little bit. So, most people think it's this bearing in here that keeps the clutch from wobbling, but it's not. It's all of this stuff.
Okay.
Look on that drum over there that's apart. This guy. Here's what's under there. A washer and another washer with a little screw. These things act... This gets bolted down. This washer gets bolted down tight to the clutch gear when the bike goes together. So this washer becomes part of the clutch gear. It's no longer part of the drum. So what happens is the clearance between this washer and this plate, I don't have a kicker plate out here, kicker plate. And the back of this kicker plate sets the amount of this that can happen.
Gotcha.
That's where the wobble comes from. All right, so the bigger this gap is, the more it wobbles. I'm looking over here on this bike.
Okay.
This bike we took apart and blueprinted it. This bike has 2/1000 clearance like that. Notice how much this clutch wobbles.
I don't see any wobble.
That's right, barely any. You might see a little in here. Look between the drum and the pressure plate. Back up a little more.
Hey, back it up a little there, son. Where are you going?
Ever so slightly, you see a little bit.
Yep.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Now to keep them like that, once you get them like that, to keep them like that, what the trick is not to sit at the stoplight or anywhere with the bike and gear and the clutch pulled in with the motor running. Because this is all spinning at that point against each other. The clutch is released, all of this stuff is stationary.
Yep.
It all spins as one unit. All right, so that's the trick there. Now, that's what's going on the backside. Now this is pretty nice. This hub is pretty decent. It's an early one, late 57 to 63. These are my favorite ones. That stud's a little bent, and the threads are a little screwy, but we'll get that squared away. And maybe it's not bent. Maybe it just looks bent.
Optical illusion.
Well, my eye is bent too, you know. Okay, but as we were cleaning this thing up, we got quite a little surprise from the last mechanic, I guess.
That's the floater.
All right. So what that means is that this bike will never, this drum will never seal against the oil.
Like
Ever.
that.
Like that. Here, watch.
Obviously.
Look out here. You see the rivet?
Yeah, I see
turning?
it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, back off so you can see my finger moving it. All right?
Yeah.
That thing will never seal.
Yep.
Okay. That's a damn shame because this drum is freaking unmolested except for that. And if it wasn't like that, we would just remove this thing, reset all the end plates, and rivet it back together. Now, how does that happen, one might wonder? Well, if one looks close enough, let me see if I can get the light right. So, yeah, there it is.
There you go. You can see it.
You can see it, right?
Yep.
Those marks, right?
I see them.
Okay, now keep looking at them. Watch this. There's one right here.
Mm-hmm. I see it. Underneath it.
Yeah, underneath it. So I'll tell you how that happened. It became pretty apparent once we looked at everything. Here's the clutch nut.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
I see it.
See that?
I see it.
That's somebody in there with a chisel, removing a clutch nut with a hammer and a chisel.
Primitive Pete style.
Yeah, primitive Pete style. So, of course, when he's doing that, this thing's going to want to spin every time he hits it with the chisel.
Absolutely.
So what he does is he puts that thing in there, and then he takes this guy, and he sticks it in here, somewhat like that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Well, let's do it on one that's not screwed up so it stays in the way it's supposed to. See that action?
I do.
Okay, so now we can chisel on it then.
Now you can really get the big
yes,
hammer.
exactly.
Get the big hammer
well,
out.
actually, he was going, which way was that? He was doing that to tighten it. He chiseled it off, and then he was doing this to tighten it, because all of this is on the tightening side.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, okay.
This guy's an expert.
This guy was a great guy. Now, if you look on this thing, let me see if I can dig it up again. Yep, right here. I don't know if I'm gonna have to move it right there. I had it. Hang on.
There it is. Look
See
at the
it?
camera.
Yeah. See that shiny?
Yeah.
That's where the freaking chunk of metal hit.
When he was.
Yeah, when he was doing his thing.
Doing his
All
thing.
right. Now,
So now we got some decisions to make.
well, this is what he should have had. Anybody who takes a clutch apart can make one of these.
Ah.
Okay.
Now we're going into the drawer.
Now we got to go into the special tool drawer. I don't even do any of that. All I do is put the air gun on that thing and whack it, and that nut comes right off.
So,
no forces, no nothing.
So if you don't have an air gun, you may want.
Yeah, you got to go with
something
this.
like this. Yeah, yeah.
All right, you got to go with something like that.
And what is that? That's just bolted
This is
together.
what this. These are just a couple old Barnett plates, but you can use any plates that you had in there. All right.
Yep.
Any no good plates with a steel in the middle of it. I put two of them together so it has a little more oomph. Now, when you use this thing, what you want to do is we probably can't get it into this drum because of this sloppy ass dog. Let's see if we can.
The old sloppy dog.
The old sloppy dog, you.
Used to know her and her sister.
Okay.
That's it.
When you use it, try to get it down between these two rivets.
Gotcha.
So it.
Yep.
Right.
So the force is equal.
So the forces, both rivets are taking a straight on force.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's the preferred way of getting it off. You don't have an air gun. So, what we were gonna do is we were gonna just remove this dog.
Stock motor, right?
All right, and weld the two holes closed and use the dry clutch. But after we cleaned it up, we realized that we were almost up to 6,000s back here, which means we got to take all of this apart. If we're going to do that, might as well take one of these other drums and peel off any crap that's no good, like this one. If you notice, these teeth are all worn. This is a real early drum, and it's real nice. You can tell the earlies from the late. I got a later one here. If you look at these, you see how those dogs are rounded?
Yes.
Those little corners are
Yes,
round?
I do, actually.
Look at those.
It was a square.
Yeah, the early ones are square like that. The later ones are rounded. All right. I think they just do that just to make them easier to get the plates in.
Get the plates in.
Yeah, that's probably what's going on there. So what we're going to do here, what are we going to do now? So we're going to
Clean that one.
We're gonna clean this one up. I know that this thing's no good because I can see how long it's been running.
Yeah.
We're gonna clean that up. We're gonna drill these rivets out. When we drill them out, you have to drill them out from this side.
We should probably video what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah, well, let's give them an overview. Because if you drill them out from this side, once they're out, they look like this.
Okay. Oh yeah, you don't want
These have to seal against the oil.
Sure.
So we're going to put some sealant on there. So if you drill them from this side and you screw up that sealant surface,
You're done.
You're done. Right.
Reckon another good part. For
Yeah,
you, Pete.
yeah. Now, this drum's pretty good because this boss that holds the seal is pretty round. This drum here, not as much. I don't know, can you see that there's some mucked up stuff, like straight down maybe? Yeah, see how it looks mucked up over here?
Yeah, it's bent.
It's bent.
Right? It's not perfectly round.
Now, you can get some sealer in there on the outside of the seal. Probably going to go for you. We're not going to use that drum, though. We're going to use one of these ones that are in better shape. That one's probably good enough to reuse as it is. We'll clean it up. I'm leaning towards this guy. Now, an easy way for you to tell if those things are loose. Get one. My Huckleberry? Yeah. Just grab yourself a 3/8 wrench. Try to move it. If they're loose, you'll see them moving.
And if they're loose, you don't want to use it. You can't.
Well, I've had dismal luck trying to repair these riveted on drive dogs. Now, I guess if I spend enough time in making a fixture like you're going to see that we use for back here when we rivet these, I could probably get it to go again. But it's an experiment in order to get down to having that much expertise. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to use another drum I got. And we'll take this part, which is pristine, and all your guts from inside of here,
And put it in the now.
put it in that drum.